hi, since this review project has been basically cancelled, because I want to do a few more manga comparisons to finish up all of the ones available in the Perfect Edition Volume 1, I watched these episodes, I was going to go, oh, maybe I'll make some more reviews if the first reviews go well. And then they didn't, we had the YouTube copyright nonsense. So I'm throwing out my work on that. I had like almost an hour-long review squealing about how much I just love the Dr. Stein fight. Probably one of my favourite episodes so far, but for now I'll have a quick summary of those just so you have the necessary context available to understand the manga comparison video coming next. Episode 4. This is a moment where the numbers go out of sync with the manga because despite the first 3 chapters being the first 3 chapters, they're named the first 3 prologue chapters, and then it starts over again. So this in the manga is chapter 1, even though it's the 4th chapter in the manga. We'll get to that when we get to the comparison, but for now, I really like this one. It's when we get the reveal of the character I mentioned before who was foreshadowed more in the anime. All 3 of our protagonists so far are told they have to take a remedial lesson because they haven't got any souls yet. Which that scene always did confuse me because I'm like, well, you said they're having a remedial lesson because they haven't got a single soul, but Maka and Soul got 99 souls and then they got taken away from them. So by all logic, that shouldn't be the same reason to put them in the same remedial class as everybody else who hasn't even succeeded at a single one. But it's just me being picky on little details again. It was required to have this plot set up in the first place. Their remedial lesson is investigating a mystery where a teacher at the school has been killed and has apparently been revived as an evil zombie. And it's the one we saw before. I overall really like this episode. There's loads of really great fight scenes with the guy. His design is cool, even though I do slightly prefer his human design. It's called the mystery of the aspect of he used to be a good teacher. Why has he suddenly turned evil? There's a lot of good foreshadowing and setup for the next episode. 'Cause this basically is just a setup for the next episode. They managed to temporarily capture zombie teacher guy, and now they're investigating who was it who brought him back as a zombie. On to the next fight. One critique I'll have for the anime in this episode is this is the first time I've noticed a translation mistake in the anime, and it's so weird. The zombie guy's catchphrase in the manga in the Japanese is "Kill Kan Kin Kun," which is basically the onomatopoeia for the bell that starts the school in Japanese, and the English translation of the manga goes "Ding Dong Dead Dong." In the anime, it's "Ding Dong Dong Ding," and I'm like, what the fuck, why do you do that? The pun was right there, it almost one-to-one translates, you just changed kill to dead. So the only justification I can think of for why this happened is, did they just think, oh, they spelled one word wrong in the noise for no reason at all and didn't recognise it was a pun? That would be kind of funny. But anyway, that just mildly bugs me. The rest of the episode is great. He fights with his own tombstone, and he can swim through the ground like it's water. It's so cool. On to episode 5. This is where we fight the guy who made the guy the zombie. Dr. Frankenstein, first name Franken, surname Stein. Lots and lots of fans for this character. I like him too because I like mad scientists. It seems most other people like him because they find him hot, and I was too ace to notice that when I watched this as a kid. But hey, all power to you guys. He's very cool, they got a good setup of him, like, oh, he's so ominous and scary, when you come in, oh, he's actually a little bit goofy, maybe he's okay, but then, oh, he's actually really ominous and scary. I liked all the stuff where he fights on an office chair, spinning it around and fighting, like, it's very cool. I think I remember I mentioned in the review, oh, it's a shame he never does that again, they don't make the office chair a permanent part of his fighting style, and I thought they could have done it having it be like a folding chair or something, that would have been rad. Anyway, we have some intense and awesome fights with him. Along the way, Maka unlocks her ability to see people's souls, which was kind of the point of the remedial lesson. She has a moment of doubt where it's like, his soul is so overwhelmingly powerful, there's no way we could win, and as far as I can tell, my friend has died, and I have to avenge him. And then Soul gives her a great motivational speech as well. Again, a wonderful moment of great voice acting, which I can't show you guys, but just trust me, awesome, wonderful, great animation for the fight. They got a whole thing of Stein catching a massive energy sword with his hands. And it's great because you see our characters, they've got the courage to stand up and fight. They've gained this new ability, and even though they lost the fight, because Stein is still like a fully grown teacher who's 10,000 levels ahead of them, they still won in the end. They've made this big milestone in their development. And Stein is impressed because they managed to shatter his glasses. Like, he still stopped the blade from killing him, but wow, you got so close, I did not see that coming. And that's also the cool thing, is the final reveal is, all of this was a fake out the whole time. Stein is not a bad guy. The zombie teacher is also not a bad guy. They're both just regular actual teachers. And this was literally part of the lesson. To give these kids a little bit of a scare, to bring out their potential in their power, and to make them have this moment realizing how much they care about each other. It's really nice, it's really sweet, it's fun, it's a great, well-delivered twist. I like spotting all the little moments where, like, tiny bits of foreshadowing where you can figure it out ahead of time. But I did also go a bit in the review about, there's some things which don't make sense after the reveal. Like, they clearly just faked us out with that. Like, for one, how did Sid die if it wasn't Dr. Stein killing him and bringing him back as a zombie? I think very, very late in the manga they do finally retcon that in. They say he died because he was fighting some actual evil guy, and Stein, like, benignly and goodly brought him back. I looked it up, and they do not in fact reveal what actually happened to Sid until the entire manga is over in a secondary spin-off manga, Soul Eater Not. Did it really take the author that long to figure out an answer? But at this moment, it's kind of like, we just threw out these fake plot points to mislead you, and then we've never explained exactly how they didn't really happen. They also have a bit of a scene that grossed me out, but again, like the fan service in episode 1, I felt it was justified. They have Stein in his fake evil persona acting, oh, I'm all perverted towards little children. He pulls Maka's shirt up around her tummy, and it's like, I'll cut your guts open here, ooh, and he draws dissection lines on her, ooh, scary. And that just struck me as like, Lord Death wouldn't allow him to do that kind of fake out on just a test like this. Like, even if your boss said, oh, pretend to be evil, there's gotta be some kind of limit of what you can do in your evil pretendingness that is within the school rules. But still, I will overall say, yeah, that's a good use of fan service because it's deliberately meant to be disgusting rather than appealing in any way. It's meant to make you really believe this guy is truly evil when in fact he is not. And I think they did a pretty good job with that. And Stein just looks really cool, he acts really cool, it means so many cool things for the plot going forward that these two characters are going to be a permanent addition to the cast. They are so cool, I can easily imagine lots of people be like, oh, I don't want them to be defeated actually, so it's great to know, yeah, they're actually allies. And in episode number 6 is the last one I had to wrap up to do the perfect edition comparison, and I don't have much else to say about that. It was not a good episode. I'm going to try and make myself say some things so it's not just a anticlimactic end of the video. It is basically just an obvious patch job to fix things that the author just forgot to mention in Kid's introduction chapter. This is the last I'm going to have to bring it up is, yeah, the first 3 chapters, they were originally pilots, they were done half a year before the rest of the series. Because of that, I think the author either didn't have time to fit in all this information about Kid or actually changed his mind about Kid in the time it took between these. Because we just suddenly have Black Star is all arrogant, oh, I hate that Kid did the success on his previous mission and is Lord Death's son, I'm going to fight him for no particular reason. He outright says, I want to kill him because he's such a big shot, and I'm like, why does the show just constantly make Black Star worse with every consecutive episode? I'm disappointed I'm not going to be able to get to the one episode where Black Star was good, but trust me, the one with Tsubaki's backstory, I did like that one. I will continue watching these on my own free time, and I will enjoy that once again. But yeah, anyway, the whole chapter / episode is just one big fight between these two guys, and they don't even show very much of the fight. It cuts to everyone expositioning over them fighting in the background. It's really, really boring. Stein is like, this is how Kid's powers work. This is his exact weaknesses and strengths. Because, yeah, his fight the last time ended in one blow. Here is how his fighting style actually works. In the end, all of it was pointless because he just wins the fight in one blow anyway. There's a super limit break attack where he just turns his arms into cannons and blows him up. And the moral of the episode, if there is such a thing, is just, Kid is so much stronger than all the other members of the cast. And the only thing holding him back from beating them in every fight is because he has this stupid symmetry OCD joke which will forever stop him in his tracks. And Black Star wins the fight by doing nothing because Kid just noticed his hair was cut slightly asymmetrical and instantly collapses unconscious. So it's basically just an episode bluntly explaining things to you for 22 minutes, and they crammed in as much as they could to stretch it to that length. Almost forgot to mention this, but there is a brief joke about Soul and Black Star being gay for each other. And it's just a joke, it's not serious or canon, it's just, it's a bad sign when a literal 20-second long joke is the only thing funny or memorable about the episode. I wouldn't say it's my least favourite episode overall. I still disliked Black Star's introduction the most out of all of them. This is definitely the penultimate. Okay, you know what? Let's end this off with me ranking all the episodes I've seen so far. Uncontested number 1, episode 1. It is a really great introduction, really emotional, really love that speech from Maka. Wonderful way to start the whole show, gets you really hyped. Second place, episode 5, the Dr. Stein fight. It's great, again, wonderful emotional development for Maka and Saul, and a good plot twist. Oh, this mad scientist is, in fact, gonna be our friend and pal. Yeah! Number 3, episode 3. I just really like the comedy in it, even though it had fan service scenes I didn't like. It isn't bad enough to take it down a peg. Number 4, episode 4. Even though I did really like the fight with Sid and everything, I think I didn't quite like it more than episode 3. There's a load of plot development in this one. There's no plot development in episode 3. It is just comedy and not a very good introduction to the character even. But it's just so fun. It's just great. And it actually has a better fight scene somehow than this fully fight-focused episode. Honestly, that's why it sucks as an introduction, because we got a better fight with Kid's 2 partners of him not even being involved. 5th place, episode 6, because just nothing happens in it. They fail to introduce Kid twice in 2 episodes attempting it. And then last place is the Black Star episode, and I've already talked way too much about why I didn't like that. So anyway, now with all of that out of the way, next episode I will do our manga comparison as usual, and that will be the end of all the Soul Eater videos I've got left.